never give up. It's just going to get better and better and better and better. And then you're going to be like, yo, why was I ever thinking about giving up?
People be talking a lot, I just noticed. They do not walk the talk, they be provoking. Say that they are a boss, I say they joking. I just be growing like it is meiosis. You don't got advantage cause your DNA status. Ballin' out March Madness. Head of my race like I'm POTUS. Since a kid I always knew I was chosen. Know that we smooth like it's lotion. We making waves that are bigger than oceans, We go crazy like psychosis, yeah. Got the drip like it's osmosis, yeah. No advantage from your DNA status. Ballin' out March Madness. Head of my race like I'm POTUS. Since a kid I always knew I was chosen.
Alright, more inspiration, guys.
Don't ever give up. You guys got this, no matter how hard it may get. You got this.
Hello and welcome back to the Hustle House 24/7, 365-day podcast. And I'm your host, Cody Stockton, aka Various Layers, Beast, as you guys know, here with...
I am your co-host, Lamar Lambo, Mr. Cream Cap. Let's go.
And before we start the episode off today, guys, I just want to show y'all that we do indeed have Hustle House t-shirts now, as you guys can see. And they're pretty comfortable, pretty dope, so we out here repping. But today we're going to be talking about cancel culture. We're going to be talking about freedom of speech. Like, all these people out here are getting canceled these days, and it's happening back to back to back to back. We're going to talk about a few people in particular, like Andrew Tate, Stevewilldoit, Donald Trump, the doctors during COVID, and like the misinformation and shit from the Mark Zuckerberg and Joe Rogan experience. But I first want to start off with Andrew Tate. What do you think about Andrew Tate being canceled?
First and foremost, I want to say that I am a huge supporter of Andrew Tate. Despite all the misinformation and out of context videos that have popped up and all the opinions and hate directed towards him. Despite all that, I am a big supporter of his. I've actually been following Andrew Tate for a couple of years now. Watched a lot of his content, his media, have been on his YouTube channels. I've spoken with him on Twitter. He's a really cool, genuine guy. And my personal opinion of him, while he does say some things that most people may not agree on, which is perfectly fine. Everyone has their own right to their opinion. At least that's what I thought. I don't have a problem with him. We're all different people. There are billions of people in this world, millions of people in this country. We are all not the same. We weren't born the same. We're different races. We have different backgrounds. We come from different cultures. We have different religions. We have different beliefs. And I respect everybody for their beliefs, their opinions, their way of life, how they like to live their life. I think there are some very, very typical things that a lot of people could agree on that aren't right, that you shouldn't do, how you shouldn't live your life, how you should and shouldn't treat people. But as far as Andrew Tate goes, I have no problem with him. The man has his opinions. He was, born in the U.S., grew up in Europe, now lives in Eastern Europe. He's lived in many different places, experienced many different cultures. He's traveled all over the world. He's met plenty of people. He is a high net worth, successful individual. And he's gone through life and he's made something of himself. I don't think that his opinion is any different than, me and your opinion that we like, to express, or even someone that is just walking down the street and they have an opinion about something. I don't think anyone should be treated any different for their opinions. Because you got to understand that everyone has different ways of life, and we are born in many different places. There are full countries that support certain type of ideas and have these laws in place of things that you can't do that our country would not agree with, or enact and enforce over here. But that's their right. It's their place. They do what they want to do. We can't have a say in it, and that's how things should be. So I don't have anything negative to say against him. I don't agree with the guy 100% on every single thing he talks about. But a lot of the stuff that he does talk about, as far as, being healthy and being fit and staying active and, how to make money, how to start businesses, things you should focus on. He talks a lot about mindset and he preaches, positive, having a positive mindset and training yourself to be able to, just make something yourself. There's a lot of things that he talks about that I agree on, that I support, that I have the same mindset on, and there's some things that I don't agree on, but it doesn't make me see him any different or any less. Same with, there's things me and Cody have differences on, but it doesn't mean I hate Cody or don't want to be his friend or go to cancel him. So I support the guy. I have no problems with him. What about you?
I think with Andrew Tate, he's just saying a lot of shit that a lot of people don't want to hear. Well, he's saying a lot of shit that a lot of people are actually resonating with, but also some people are taking it out of context and like just going insane with it and shit. Like, but they're taking him out of context at the same time, like the media and everything. Like everybody, he's exaggerates shit. Some of the shit is sarcasm and stuff like that. But also he talks about how you got to like be a high value person in society. Try to build yourself up, become successful and stuff like that. And then he calls out the Matrix or the Great Reset or whatever you guys want to call it. And personally, in my opinion, I think he got banned because he talks about stuff like that,
Oh, definitely.
And it's not all the other stuff with the masculinity. Well, I do believe there is a toxic masculinity agenda to like demasculize, I don't know what the word is, men and stuff like that. But I think he calls that shit out. They don't like that. Then he calls out how the Great Reset is happening and no one even knows it. How he thinks C-19 was, a plan and stuff like that, which, I personally believe, there's a lot of evidence coming out now that something happened and they knew about it and it was fucked up. So I think he got banned for that shit. And then also all of the platforms came at him at one time. Like he got banned, I think he said on his last message or something, like within 24 hours or something.
Yeah, in 2 days he was banned. He's been banned from Twitter multiple times. Not banned, he's had Twitter accounts deleted multiple times. But Instagram and Facebook, obviously they're under the same company, Meta. They banned him the same day. The TikTok came out later that day and said they were banning him, even though he doesn't have any TikTok accounts himself. And then YouTube was the last one where they banned all his YouTube channels, which is where all of his good stuff was, all his full-length videos, where it's not just things that were plucked and pulled from. They took his YouTube channel down, so it was all within like a span of 2 days.
But they took his website too.
Oh, I didn't even know.
They took his bank. They took his bank account. They took his website. How he can transact on the internet, everything. They Alex Jones'd him. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, though. Like, they're not doing that because he's talking about what he thinks about women, his opinion on women, which is taken out of context and misconstrued with sound bites and shit anyway half the time. More than half the time. But, like I said, I don't agree with everything he says, but it's because he's calling out the Matrix, in my personal opinion.
I think that's what it's about, too. I don't think it has anything to do with any sexist comments he may have or may have not made, or any of the comments he's made about depression and things of that nature. It's more or less about he's talking about the things that people are aware of and know about. Some of the same stuff me and you have talked about on this podcast a few times. Some of the same things we talked about in our private circles with some of our close friends. And he's someone that became a person of major influence. He was the trending person on the internet for almost damn near 2 months. And since he is someone that is highly successful, has a background, people know him, power, influence, money, travels all over the world, got big on the internet, and spoke about these controversial, or what's the word that they call people, like when they're saying that like what you're saying is not real, but it is. What's the word?
Conspiracy theory?
Yeah. He started talking about like these controversial topics and the things that conspiracy theorists talk about. And since he was the largest trending person on the planet at the time that had a platform, I think they found things that they could pull and use against him to take him down on his social media platforms, not just, completely away from the internet, but from the major social media platforms that a majority of people use all over the world, besides China and Russia for some of those companies. But I think that's exactly what it has to do with. Those were the videos that had the most views and engagement. It wasn't even the TikTok stuff where everyone was just taking out excerpts from his content. It was the videos on YouTube and some of the stuff he talked about on his Instagram, as well as some of the stuff that came out on TikTok that garnered the most attention and the most views and had the most shares, and it became a problem. The people in power that me and Cody have talked about in the past are, they saw that and said that they can't, obviously they can't have a guy out there with power and influence over a huge demographic of people, especially men, putting out this information against them, basically going against what the message or the narrative that they want out there, especially when it comes to the pandemic, especially when it comes to the Great Reset, especially when you're talking about, demasculinizing men and things of that nature. So I think it has everything to do with that stuff and not the comments he made about women, the comments he made about depression or any other stuff, because you got all types of people online that say some really fucked up shit on YouTube and different platforms.
Porn's on Twitter.
Yeah. And then you still got
the Taliban's on Twitter.
Yeah, you still got Islamic radical accounts like doing recruiting. You still got, bro, there's still like QAnon groups and stuff on Facebook. There's all types of different types of things that are, I'm not going to say, that are fucked up and that have other agendas, even like terrorist groups that have platforms still, but you don't see them being taken down off the internet. Why is that? You know what I mean? So.
And the thing is, you can't really cancel Andrew Tate because he got famous from other people posting him and him not posting himself.
Oh yeah,
they're doing the same thing.
They're trying to cancel him, but
he's on Rumble.
They're not. Yeah, I mean, there's other platforms out there that aren't as involved, that have government ties or are in the pockets of powerful and influential people that rule the world. In my opinion. So, and my thing is, once a message already gets out, it's kind of hard to stop the spread of it. You know what I mean? You can try to silence somebody, but once their message is out there, I mean, it's already out there.
And then Stevewilldoit got canceled. So
that was crazy. I didn't even know about that till the other day.
So you can promote gambling online. So you can say you're gambling online. You can show you're gambling online on YouTube, but you can't show or promote a website or a brand of gambling, apparently. And Stevewilldoit's video showed stake.com. He's allowed to gamble. He's allowed to show he's gambling, but it showed stake.com in the video, and it wasn't blurred out. So they, on his second account, so they banned that account and then somehow got around to banning his main account, and now both accounts are banned.
I think there's other stuff surrounding that too with him, because Stevewilldoit has done a lot of, his content shows a lot of like charitable contributions and giving back, and he talks about and speaks on like certain type of topics that are a little touchy for some people.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's just another attack on another powerful, influential figure that has a certain demographic of people, a large audience that supports him and follows him and that he has influence over. And I think it's at the point now where the powers to be are trying to make sure that everyday people like us that have an opinion don't get a large enough audience that we can influence into certain things. And Stevewilldoit's never tried to influence anybody into anything negative. He's always preached positivity, giving back. He's not someone that like goes out here and does crazy ass like super negative shit. So I think it's just one of those like, hey, this guy's getting too big and he has too much influence. We got to try to take away his platform.
And that's the thing. He was like, in Bradley Martin's new Raw Talk episode, he was like, yeah, man, I would have done my shit fine. Like, he's got money. He's got real estate, land, crypto, like assets and shit. And he has money. But he was like, yeah, man, I would have done my finances a little differently if I knew YouTube wasn't even going to give me a heads up until the day before. And they're just going to take me off the platform for something that makes no sense like that.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how they can just take anybody off the platform. And then the question comes for like Andrew Tate, Logan Paul, and Impulsive. They were talking about this. They were like, well, it's a private company. But at what point is it not a private company when it's influencing the way people think and the way people actually behave in the world that changes how society moves forward as a whole? At which point is it not a private company? And at which point do they have the only power to make rules and ban certain people and stuff? Like, come on, you banned Donald Trump, the president of the United States. Twitter banned the president of the United States. Like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah.
That's a company that's in the United States.
And they take any content down off YouTube that comes out.
But porn is on there in Taliban. But you ban the president of the United States because the political agreement of whatever the narrative is you guys don't agree with, whatever, I don't know. I just believe that the freedom of speech talk with all these social media platforms, considering how much people are on them, the economy, the creator economy, like it's a business, it's a market. People's lives are made in social media, all these apps. I don't believe these companies, even if they're private, should have as much power as they do to say who has a voice and who doesn't, when it really is like the new newspaper, the new media, you know? Metaverse. Everyone's moving to metaverse. The world's moving digital, so...
Especially your content creators that have generated millions of dollars for your platform. Because if you guys understand how a lot of social media works, it's free for a reason, right? Yeah, there's like updated subscriptions, YouTube Red, you know, I don't know if Instagram and Facebook have any updated stuff, or TikTok, but all these platforms are free, but they make their money off marketing and advertising to their subscribers, their customers, their users base. So the people that get paid from that marketing and advertising, that get a percentage, a cut, are the large influencers that bring eyes and in the audience to their content, and then they run ads across the screen, or run ads every like 2 minutes, or they'll promote like, this video is brought to you by yada yada yada. I think it's crazy that you'll take the platform away from people that help build your company, that help generate billions of dollars in revenue. Especially someone like Stevewilldoit. There were people watching tons of his content. He's one of the biggest influencers on social media, especially YouTube, and he's generated YouTube probably billions of dollars from advertising. You know, not him advertising, but just people coming watching his videos and then seeing an ad. And it's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know, it's kind of fucked. And and as well as what you said about censorship, is getting out of hand, especially when it comes to social media and platforms that are supposed to be, you know, promote free speech and whatever. So
Facebook had over 20 million bot farms promoting certain propaganda to a bunch of people, and Mark Zuckerberg on Joe Rogan said, "Oh, I didn't even know about that one." He was like, yeah, we have bot farms sometimes, but he was like, sometimes we just can't control it. And Joe Rogan was kind of grilling him with everything, and he was like, yeah, man, it just doesn't make sense how you guys can allow that to stay up, but then you pick and choose what content can stay and can't stay based on, you know, policy of protection or safety for people or whatever it may be. But it's like, it's Facebook, and they started with text, Mark Zuckerberg was saying, and now it's obviously going into video and like digital, whatever, blockchain even, I guess the metaverse is somewhat blockchain, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And Joe Rogan was like, at what point do we actually, you know, have someone who is actually regulating and overseeing these things? Why do you guys get to pick? And he was like, I mean, we're just here to provide connections with everyone around the world, and we're not trying to control the speech and what people think. And like, he just did his common thing he did when Congress questioned him, everything like that. But it's just fucked, man. Like, they're private companies, but they should definitely be regulated, or something should happen to where they can't monopolize speech and what people think and the voice that people can have. But then people say, hey, if you have free speech, you can go into the courtyard and scream whatever the fuck you want, which is true. But if the world's moving digital, if currency is moving digital, jobs are moving digital, everything like that, I feel like you should. And with the effect that all of this already has on the world and society and the way people think and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously it should be regulated or something.
There should be some type of regulation, not like that oversees, you know, the platforms itself. And I think they've tried to, you know, step in and do something about it. But yeah, it's fucked. You shouldn't. This goes down more controversial topics or roads, but I mean, when you have people like the Zuckerbergs and Jack Dorsey's not a part of Twitter anymore. Twitter's now a public company. But when you have people that are in the pockets of, you know, other powerful individuals, like Mark Zuckerberg kind of admitted, you know, that they corroborate with other organizations to, you know, push certain types of content out there, which is typically some propaganda that's against or generated towards, you know, supporting a certain individual organization. I think that's unfair, because it's like, what why do they get to control exactly what it is that people see, and then they'll try to blame it on, oh, well, it's the algorithm. The algorithm shows you what you're most interested in, and these are the topics that you're most interested in. And honestly, I think it is bullshit. I think they'll push certain type of content, especially around political races and election years, to as many individuals as they can, and then they'll leverage their platform to silence other individuals, or not even silence, but to make sure that their content doesn't get out there. Like the stuff you were talking about with the doctors back in, C-19 that came out and said, hey, this helps cure this, and we have proof. And as soon as that content was starting to get shared and spread, it got removed, it got taken down. And then there was a whole witch hunt against those people saying that, no, that's not true, yada, 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 even though these were credible, legit doctors with degrees. This is their field that they operate in.
And now that the evidence is out about some of the shit they were saying actually being true, you don't hear nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all being controlled by these companies. It's not really, it's not even a freedom of speech type platforms anymore. It's, I don't even know what you want to call it, honestly. Yeah, I hear the echo too. But yeah, it's fucked, dude. I mean, it's getting crazy. And the thing is with Facebook, they even came out with proof that said that a lot of the times that's why you guys don't see the fact checkers a lot anymore, because Facebook got caught up by, I think I don't know if it was Congress or who it was, but they got caught up, and it showed that the fact checkers weren't actually verifying any type of information.
Mark Zuckerberg admitted it on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. If it was something that was just that they felt was negative or not true, there was no fact checking actually being done. They just blocked or hid the content from people, which is fucked up. It's
you're telling people what to think.
Yeah, they're telling you what to think, and they're controlling what information you can and cannot see. And I mean, it sucks. Me personally, bro, I've backed away from using I only use my social media platforms for business. I'll come out and I try to put value out there as much as you can. Same thing with what we do with YouTube. Me and Cody aren't even we're out here just putting value out to the audience and people that watch and follow and pay attention to us, but we're not even on social media like that as much. Facebook, I'm hardly on. I'm not the scroller. Instagram, gosh, I should post more, but I don't, because I just don't agree with what these platforms are doing, and it sucks, because it used to be so organic and genuine there in the beginning, especially Facebook. But now it's just people got too money hungry, and they got too many powerful people that are trying to influence different things. And the thing is, they realize that they can influence us because there's so many people using these applications. I mean, they're losing users, but go ahead. Yeah.
The reason I also think that, the freedom of speech talk, you can't just ban whoever should be valid, and there should be mediators and people who actually oversee these things, is because Facebook itself has over 3 billion users. Messenger has over 2 million. Instagram has over 2 million. That's 6 million out of 7 to 8 billion people in the world. 6 billion. That's over half of the whole population of the entire world being influenced on these apps. And for the fact to say that because they're a private company that they should be able to do whatever the fuck they want and ban whoever they want and stuff like that, I don't believe that's the case, because now presidential elections are involved. Fucking Congress people on here trying to get elected. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's life and career and the digital world and everything moving forward, Meta itself embarking on the new metaverse as the pioneer, all these things are moving forward to the world they're trying to take it to. So to say that they should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, ban whoever the fuck they want, give a voice to whoever the fuck they want, I don't buy that shit, personally.
No, it should be equality. It's funny because we're living in an age where equality is the new thing. Everyone should have equality, men, women, access to different types of services and products, all at the same pay, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's not equal. You know what I mean?
And then you hear people talking about hate speech in America. At the end of the day, guys, you guys are saying ban hate speech. The only thing I hear when you say ban hate speech is ban speech, hate speech. I'm not saying I agree with people going out there being racist and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if you're throwing somebody in jail just because they're saying something out of their mouth in a country that claims to be freedom of speech, that's some fucking horse shit, bullshit, dog shit, pony shit. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, yeah, it's fucked, dude. I mean, we've been talking about this all year. Ever since me and Cody started this podcast, we've touched on a lot of the stuff, throughout different, episodes that we've done. And we're living in a crazy time. We live in an age of information and the age of social media where everybody is easily connected. But it's funny because while that was the original goal in the beginning, it's like all this stuff is just causing more discord and disconnect between people in society. And it's fucked. What do you do about it? I don't have the answer, but
A lot of people know this shit too. They're just conforming.
yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. I mean, people, they'll defend the stuff what they were brought up on, like what they've been told, even if it's the wrong thing. If that's what they're used to, they'll go out of their way to defend it.
And the thing is too, like, all this misinformation campaigns, all these people talking about certain things to block what people can see and what people can't see. Certain books, they're banning Netflix shows after being out for like 2 weeks and stuff like that. If y'all look back in history, it wasn't media. Well, it was media, but it wasn't like video and shit as we see it now. I mean, I guess it kind of was because they had video and shit back then. But when the fucking Nazis were burning books, I'm not saying these people are Nazis and stuff, but when they were burning books, doing censorship, Stalin doing censorship, burning books, and then having certain people programmed indoctrination in school. They're trying to control the kids. You know, the state
silencing people that spoke out.
Like literally silencing, banning people, exiling people, gulagging people, shit like that, man. Like, I feel like this is just leading more to something like that. This is America, and you know how easy they lock this shit down? You know what I'm saying? How many people conformed? How many people got fooled? Like, that shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy times, and that we're living in, and you gotta try to learn how to think for yourself, people. The superior people on this planet are the ones that know how to think. And when you're able to think critically, you're able to analyze, predict, strategize, and circumvent. And a person who can't think is always behind getting played and used and abused and taken advantage of. All you got to do is just stop letting the programming stop sitting in front of a TV, stop the scrolling, stop watching these people spouting bullshit and negative propaganda out there. Just think for yourself. Learn how to think outside the box, analyze, and just, you know, think about whatever it is you're being told and try to see everything from all angles and different perspectives and come up with your own opinion, your own judgment, your own perspective. And go with that, you know. Be your own individual person. Stop conforming and falling in with the groups and being comfortable and just agreeing with whatever everybody's telling you without questioning. And I'm not saying you got to go and question every single little thing, but you should want to be able to dig for the information yourself and learn from yourself. Don't just take something from somebody and run with it like, yeah, I hate that guy Andrew Tate. He's a misogynist. He hates women. Oh, what makes you think that? Well, I saw, my friend told me they saw this video. Oh, so someone told you that this person, so you didn't go and bother to check out this stuff yourself. You know what I mean? So just be individual, be independent people.
Learn how they program you and program yourself.
Exactly.
Can I read this verse?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys. So this verse is called The Great Reset, and I haven't recorded it yet, but it goes perfectly with what we're talking about. So to sum up, what I think about all of this cancel culture shit, it's just part of the Great Reset. It's a part of the censorship. It's a part of them trying to make people think a certain way as they move forward with their agendas that are going on in the world. They say, Cody, why are you pessimistic? I say I'm optimistic. I just look at reality. Some of you guys need to do that as well. But also, sometimes reality can suck, seem pessimistic. You just got to be optimistic about it. But anyway, I'm going to read part of this verse here, okay? So honestly, the world we in is crazy. It's a clown world, it's fugazi. The people at the top saying one thing but do the opposite, they so shady. They say they care about humanity while doing things that are insanity. We just gotta face it. Stop hoping that they will erase it. These people constantly building spaceships, fucking up the planet, then enacting new laws that are makeshift. Telling everybody what they gotta do when they cannot feed their families from a day shift. Matter of fact, these people constantly are scheming on everyday people and they try to frame them. People who are really trying to change shit. Looking at the bigger picture, and we have to frame it. Everything we got, they want to take it. You can't fake this. It is staged, even the inflation. We got to stand up, get a backbone, better man up while y'all flaking like his dandruff. Courage and integrity, things that make us stand up and clap for. Unless you're a coward that is running out the back door. I think people would like this, maybe.
Yeah, you should put that on the channel when it's recorded.
All right. There's a little bit more. Taxing us, talking about climate change while they ball up real estate on the PCH and flying private planes. Just think about that right there.
We're getting taken down.
But yeah, that's all I'm gonna go for right now. Oh wait, blockchain, they controlling octane. Food shortages and cattle is dropping. And that's all I'm gonna say right now. But that's a new song coming out, and it makes you really think.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Hey
dope.
guys, if you haven't checked out Cody's music, be sure to check out his other platforms. YouTube. He's on Spotify, Apple Music. Are you on Apple Music too? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a song that came out the other day.
Hell yeah. Various layers. Definitely check out his stuff. Like, he's not your typical just spouting bullshit rapper. Dude talks about a lot of real, actual shit. I fuck with him. Well, as I should, and as you guys should. But yeah, man. You got anything else on this topic?
I touched everything, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's it.
Yeah, guys, to wrap it all up, I mean, we're going to continue to say what we want to say. We're not even close to the level of some of these people that are getting canceled as far as like how big we are on social media. But, at the end of the day, if you have certain beliefs and you have certain opinions, you're in my opinion, you're entitled to your opinion, and you're entitled to live life the way that you want to live it. I think everybody knows like the ground rules or the generalization of what you should and you should not do with, in life, especially when it involves other people. And I think everybody knows and understands the things that you should and should not say. But at the end of the day, like, be your own individual person. Do what you want to do within the confines of humanity. Say what you want to say within the confines of, being appropriate. But I'm not going to judge you either way. Whether you like me, you don't like me, you like things that me and Cody say, the things you don't like the things that we say, as well as some of these other individual popular people. It is what it is. It's whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to judge you. You shouldn't judge me. If you judge me, then whatever. It is what it is. So, but yeah, that's all for me, man. Just be individual, be your own person, build yourself up, work out, eat healthy, try to make something of yourself, do something productive, have a plan, have a goal, have a vision, be ambitious, all those things, the usual message,
And also be respectful, have conversations, don't be offended. Because that's the thing these days, man. Like, they're canceling people for saying something, but they're not even debating nobody. They're not even having a respectful conversation. They say, hey, we don't agree with you. You're canceled. You're against us. We don't want to hear what you got to say. That's not America. People are supposed to have debates, the great debates. Like, come on, we got to talk about shit. That's how we move forward. That's how we progress. We can't just not agree and have all these different opinions and then just block people and then get offended when they say something. Like, there's little people out here who just don't even talk to people who don't agree with anything they say. Like, it's crazy.
Have open dialogue. There's nothing wrong with that. Have, like he just said, have productive educational discussions. Don't just like someone say something to you, you're like, oh wow, no, like that's ridiculous. I don't agree with that at all. Like you know what? I'm not going to talk to you or be friends with you because you think that way. That's fucked up. And it's like, what the fuck? How did we get to this point? I'm glad you said something that I didn't even think about mentioning that earlier. People are so sensitive these days. Like, have open dialogue with people, and not only, express your opinion, but sit there and listen to someone else's too, and actually take in what they're saying. Don't just sit there like waiting for them to finish so you can get your word out and not even listen, like everything just go over your head or in one ear and out the other. Actually sit there and have meaningful conversations. And if at the end of the day you still disagree on said topic or subject, that is completely fine. That does not mean that you got to go out here and talk shit about the person, block them, cancel them, whatever. Like, it's ridiculous. Be adults. Be responsible adults. Be mature. Sorry. That was a little touchy.
Agreed. So that's it, guys. That's all I want to mention. But yeah, this is cancel culture. I don't agree with it. It's bullshit. say what you believe. Be respectful about it. Obviously, don't go talk shit to somebody and like be degrading to women and stuff like that. Like, be respectful, but have conversations. And cancel culture is a part of an agenda that is not meant for freedom and progress, in my personal opinion. So fuck them. Fuck everybody who created it to push certain viewpoints. And well, so I don't want to say fuck everybody, but you know what I mean. But y'all can follow me at various layers. Key of the day. Y'all know what to do.
Lambo_CO L Tyree 5 on Snapchat. That's where I spend most of my time here lately. That's where you guys get the daily life. Facebook, Lamar Hale. Follow us, like, subscribe, comment. If you guys have anything you want, guys, send us in questions. If there's certain topics y'all want us to talk about, want to hear us, have an actual mature, genuine conversation about, or even a topic that me and Cody might debate about, because me and Cody, believe it or not, don't agree on every single thing in the entire world. So that might be, pretty cool if we have different opinions on something, we can go over it. But yeah, guys, if y'all have anything, message us, inbox us, ask us questions. I think we should do like an AMA one day. Just like take in a bunch of questions and compile them and then answer them on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be
really dope. Because we always get like individual questions at random times from people. I think we should compile them all and go through them. Also, if you are a entrepreneur, business owner, or getting into the world of being an entrepreneur and or business owner, or have some type of brand, product, service, if you're making t-shirts, if you're selling lemonade, hit us up if you want to be on the podcast. Me and Cody are probably going to be here for the next month in the States. In Virginia. The last couple of months, me and him both have been traveling, so it's been hard to get things on schedule with people. But I'm pretty sure we're both going to be here for this month of September. So if you guys want to book and be on the podcast, let us know. We will set something up. And yeah, that's it from me. Appreciate it.
This has been Hustle House 24/7, 365, episode 17, cancel culture. Fuck that shit. Peace out.